So we'll start. I'm just going to give a little introduction about what exactly tonight's meeting is about. First of all, if people could turn on their cameras so I could see faces, it'll be really helpful. If we get an action to turn on their cameras, that would be great. What we're going to be going through tonight is kind of like an overview of what the course, this Orach Chaim course, is about, what you're supposed to, walk away with at the end of this year. And we're going to discuss a few technical things as far as how our program is set up in terms of shiurim, attendance, tests, structure, v'chulu. This, just a little bit of background about this course. The Laman Yilmadu's first course was a smicha course, right? Just to clarify, the smicha traditionally is learning the halachis that are in Yerdedeya that cover the laws of Basar B'cholav and Taruvis, laws of Kashrus. After our first class of learning smicha, this was 4.5 years ago, Laman Yilmadu decided that it shouldn't just end with smicha, but we should go on to learning other areas of halacha, like Orach Chaim, like the Hilchos Shabbos, and that's how this course came to be. The general structure of what we cover in Orach Chaim are all of the laws in Shulchan Aruch from the beginning up until Hilchos Shabbos, meaning the laws of davening, the laws of tefillin, the laws of Kriyas Shema, the laws pertaining to Birkas Hanenin. And you're going to hear soon, just a second, from Rabbi Webb. Rabbi Webb made a special effort to be with us here tonight. He is traveling, so he's doing the mitzvah of Uvelechta Chavaderech. So he's just going to join us in a second. He's trying to log on to the link. So please do forgive us that the connection might not be that great. So I'm just going to get on. Try to get him on. Just a second. Okay, perfect. We have, I believe, Rabbi Webb. Can you hear me?
I hear you, yes.
Gewaldig. We all the necessary introductions were already made, all the necessary musim and titles. Without further ado, Harav Webb.
Shalom Aleichem. I don't know who I'm speaking with, but I assume that all of you are interested in this New Year's Zman of learning Orach Chaim. Orach Chaim is the way of life. The tour started his magnum opus. The idea of learning halacha in a formal manner by dividing it into 4 portions, and he opened it with the Orach Chaim. So Orach Chaim is obviously the foundation of it all. The interesting thing about Orach Chaim is that most people growing up religious, and even not growing up so religious, they pick it up. They know basically what bracha to make on most foods. You make a adam on a vegetable, and chocolate on a candy, and mazanis on a piece of cake. And the same thing, basically when to bow during davening, and basically when you're allowed to speak and not allowed to speak, you pick it up by osmosis. But there's very few, actually, even very religious Jews, even Jews who grew up very religious and even studied in yeshiva, that actually understand some of the more subtleties of exactly how and when to apply these rules properly, and a lot of the underlying discussion why we came to some of these conclusions. And in truth, I mean, it's fascinating for me as well. It's already a few times I've been doing this, studying this, many years before yeshiva and teaching. But you always come to new chidushim, and especially in the more simpler parts of halacha, sometimes you find the biggest chidushim, things that you took for granted. And you realize it's not so much for granted, and it's not so simple. So that's basically what we do. We learn Hilchos Tefillah, spend a lot of time in Hilchos Tefillah, have separate Tefillah, when you're allowed to talk, when you're not allowed to talk, the deeper structures of Tefillah, the underlying premises of why we do this before that, and that for this. Hilchos Kriyas HaTorah, which many people, Hilchos Kriyas HaTorah, that many people, take a lot of things for granted, getting aliyah and so on and so further. But there's a lot of intricacies that people are not aware of, how to do it properly. Mistakes that can be found in a Sefer Torah that many people are not aware of. We deal with obviously the laws of Birchas and the laws of Brachas. Spent a lot of time on, at least 10 lessons on that, which is very, very important halachas. So we'll probably spend the whole year on it, but we try to, sum up the main sugyas, the main discussions over there. Some of the more interesting things is Zmanim b'halacha. I believe the intro that's available, whatever it is on that discussion. It's very interesting. It's something that people take for granted. Of course, you dive into shachs in the morning, in the afternoon. But exactly how it works, they know b'cholos, the generally plaga mincha, they have the general ideas exactly how it operates and the major disputes and why people hold this way and hold that way. Even big Talmidei Chacham often are not aware of it, and I do try to bring clarity to these ideas. I believe is very beneficial to every Yid to have a better understanding of some of these Orach Chaim, things that we deal with on a daily basis. So that's what we try to do. Spend a year on it, or the better part of a year. We get to know each other. We ask questions. We try to provide answers. Sometimes I'm challenged. I don't have good answers. I try to find better answers. And that's the journey we go through. And I hope to engage with some of you guys in Mitzvah Shem this coming year. And any questions, any concerns, you're welcome to address them now or privately.
Okay, so as far as questions and answers, feel free to use the chat box throughout. We're gonna move on to the next section of the Seder tonight. As we mentioned before, that this class is it's going to be going into our third year. This class in particular, and as such, we have the opportunity to not only hear from the Maggid Shir of the class, but we also have with us one of the existing Talmidim. I just want to make a general azhara, even those who are here and those who are not. This video is being recorded, so the open house recording will be used for those who are interested in the course. So whatever's being said now is existing la'adol me'olam. And without further ado, we have with us one of the current Talmidim in the Orach Chaim course, Avraham Crane. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. We're going to hear a few words about his experience in the class this past year. So,
thank you.
Avraham.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here. Yeah, first I'll say it's an amazing class. I'm learning so much from it, and Rav is like amazing, Maggid Shir, and he's got a great sense of humor, and I really enjoy being in the class. As I mentioned, I started 2 years ago with Smicha, and that was really life-changing, where I learned how, halacha, appreciating halacha, getting back into learning, and it really changed everything. And the reason why I went to share with the Smicha, besides that the Rebbe talked about it, was you're not just learning halacha, but you're also learning, you're not learning all the answers, you're learning what to ask also. And I went to Hilchos Shabbos, and I was doing Orach Chaim, and as the Rav mentioned, that there's a lot of things that you've learned, and then you learn in different contexts, you learn deeper, and you learn there's a lot more to it. And if it's Orach Chaim it's very practical, and that's one of the reasons why I took the course this year, to learn practical halacha and everyday things, as I said, davening and brachas and everything. But you also learn, it's not always a clear answer. You learn a lot of clear answers what the halacha is, but sometimes it's different machlokas, and you know what to ask when you get in that situation. Have to review and say that also the more you put into it, the more you get into it. I wish I had a little more chavrusas and stuff like that, but the more that you put in, the more you can learn, even though it's a very, comprehensive class and you go through a lot of topics. So I really have gotten a lot through it and a lot appreciated. And I also appreciate it because, I go to other shiurim. I'm not in a Chabad community. And I go to other classes, halacha classes, and so it's good for me also to learn the Chabad halacha for it, And sometimes it's subtle, sometimes it's not so subtle, but overall I've gotten a lot out of it. I've learned, again, it's not just always knowing the answer, also knowing what to ask when you get into the situation. So I really recommend it, and got a lot out of it, and thank you for letting me give my take on it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rabbi Ram. We're going to hear also tonight, we have with us joining soon, Rabbi Wilhelm. The entire Laman Yilmadu is right now the Ilui Nishmas, Rabbi Zusha Wilhelm, who I think, Rabbi Ram, you said you were a Talmud of Rabbi Zusha in the first year? You learned?
Yes, when I first started, I came in the class, I guess it was the second year maybe, but I'm not sure, but I came in after already started. So I was zochet to have Rav Wilhelm, and then when I continued on, I also had him, unfortunately got sick, and I before he passed away, got to have to learn from him. That was very special. So yes.
Yeah, so the learning in our course is all, now it's Lili Nishmas or Zusha Wilhelm. So we're going to have with him, we're going to hear a few words soon from his son who's going to log on. I saw a question popped up in the chat, and it's important that I mention this. Is the smicha a prerequisite to enrolling in the course? And the answer is no. There are courses that we have that are more advanced, and smicha is a prerequisite, but this is a halacha course, it's not a post smicha course. It's not something that smicha will add or take away from the learning. It's a totally different area of halacha, which in a way is more practical than a lot of what you're covering in smicha. A lot of some ifim and cases that are going to cover in smicha are extremely theoretical, whereas the halachas that are pertaining to davening, kriyas shema, tefillin, birkas hanenin is literally something that comes up every single day of the year. And therefore, so it's not a prerequisite. You could do the course without doing smicha. Okay, we're gonna switch the order around the shtickle. We're gonna watch right now a short video before, I guess we'll come on soon. We're gonna watch a short video. It's gonna basically explain a little bit about the structure of how the course is gonna work. Just a little bit of some of the Gashmiastika details. I'm gonna share my screen. And second, we have over here short video. Going to okay.
At Laman Yilmadu, everything is done so that you will be successful in your studies. With top-notch Magidei Shiur, quality learning materials, and wide-ranging support, which makes success more feasible than ever. We stay with you all the way until the Chag HaSmicha, when you receive the long-awaited certificate, signed by the Rabbanim of our Vada Smicha. Before the semester begins, you will get a package with the learning material for the entire year. You will find the Shulchan Orach booklets, detailed summary booklets, and booklets with charts and diagrams. For most courses, all the material is translated into English, except for advanced courses like Learning for Dayanis, where the material is in Hebrew. This enables someone who is not fluent in Hebrew to learn halacha on a high level. Along with the booklets, you will receive a folder with a pen and loose leaf to write summaries. In addition, if you join the Shechita or Safrus group, you will also get everything you need, including knives and Shechita stones, ink, a quill, and parchment. All of our shiurim take place live in the evening and are on Zoom, along with classes that take place in person at our study center in Crown Heights. This enables every student anywhere in the world to participate in the learning from home or the office, and to take part in a live shiur with questions and answers at a convenient time and with maximal ease. Before classes begin, we will send a detailed calendar with all the dates for classes for the year. In addition, 15 minutes before a shiur, we will send a reminder with Google Calendar with a Zoom link. Every student has a personal account on the site, which you can enter with a username and password. After every shiur, a video recording of the class is uploaded to the account and an email is sent with a link to the class. This way, if you want to review the class, or in the event that you were unable to attend the class, you will be able to watch the recording the next day. In addition to the video recording, a link will be sent with an audio version that can be listened to as a podcast. So even while driving or doing work that does not allow you to watch a video, but allows you to listen, you can do so easily. Another useful tool that you will find on the site is a quiz which appears after every shiur with a number of questions and multiple choice format. You are not required to take the quiz, but it will help you see to what extent you mastered the material that was taught. In addition to the personal account on the site, there's a WhatsApp group for each class separately. This is an excellent way to be updated, be in contact with other students, ask questions about the material, and in general, to make the learning an experience of a shared journey with others doing the same thing. Every few months, each student is given the opportunity to show his progress in both written tests as well as oral tests conducted by Chashuva Rabbanim. Our staff is here to help you regarding any question you may have. The Magidei Shiur are available to answer questions on the material. The office staff does everything they can to help every student in every way.
Okay. I guess Rabbi Willem is gonna come on soon. Just gonna or not if he's not able to make it. I'm just gonna reiterate a few points regarding the what was said in the video. It was mentioned that there are tests. So throughout the course, there is going to be approximately 4 or 5 tests. We're going to divide the tests on topic. So one or two topics for each test. Again, as mentioned in the video, the tests are both written and oral. The written tests, after a topic is finished, there'll be a period of Chazara, and then a test will be emailed to you, and there's going to be like a due date or cutoff date to send it, to email it back. With filled in, and within a week or approximately, you should receive your grade for your test. Completing all written tests is a prerequisite to receiving the certificate at the end. And regarding the oral tests with the Rabbanim, so it works a little bit differently than a regular test. Obviously, you're sitting in front of a Rav and he could ask you questions at random. So it's less of a structured, typical test, but it is a mandatory part for completing the course, as it's a rabbi who is signing your certificate that you've completed and you're knowledgeable in these halachas. Okay, so the last point that I need to cover right now is regarding the price. The cost of the course is in its entirety, meaning over the course of the year, is $3,300. Entirely, which is covering the cost of the shiurim, the booklets that you're going to get, the registration fee, the chulu. Now the payments are divided into monthly installments starting from when you sign up to the course, which is now pretty much where registration is open now up until September, and then billing you for the 12 months following. Okay, we'll give a few minutes for questions. If people want to put questions in the chat box. Yeah, that's one more thing. For all those that are here tonight by the open house, there is a special discount code. And when you sign up, will be available to you, and you'll receive 5% off on the entire course. Yeah, that's my piece. We could take questions. By the way, you could ask. You don't have to just ask questions in the chat. You could unmute yourself if you have any questions. Okay, from Yosef, what is the difference between this course and the Kitzur Live course? I'm not understanding are you referring, Rabbi Yosef, are you referring to a different smicha program? I'm not understanding the question. I can't I also I can't comment about what other classes offer. It's not that's a different group. I guess I'm not able to comment on the difference between ours and theirs. I'm not familiar with their course. Shkoyach. Okay, so the shear. Wait, let me go in order. Remember Edelman. Okay, so the shear is once a week on Tuesday nights for an hour and a half. Now, how much time you invest outside of class is up to you. I mean, if you want to come to the class already, like within, like you know a little bit of background. Our booklets are extremely user friendly. Everything is translated into English and it's broken up into paragraphs, and it's not like using a traditional Shulchan Aruch. We have summary booklets to make the learning yourself very easy to both prepare for shiurim and to review the material. Do the courses teach primarily Chabad Moedim. So we will be focusing on Shittas Admar Zaken, but the Mishnah Berurah will be brought in, and other shittas will be brought in as well. How many hours per week outside of class do you estimate required? Oh, that's a very good question. Really, it's up to the Talmud. I'm going to add to that. As far as being successful, meaning getting a good grade on all the frahers and walking away feeling that you're clear in the material, even putting 2 hours in a week outside of shear could be a lot. You could do less than that, and you could really get far, as long as the shiurim are consistent. If you're consistent, you're by every shiur, and the shiur you're 100% focused, and you're investing some time to review. An hour or two could be a ton of time outside of shiur. But again, the more you invest, the more you'll see that there's much more depth to look into. Our written and oral testing, the written tests are all in English, and the oral tests as well. You're going to be speaking to Rabbanim, and they're going to be speaking to you in English. Unless your preferred language is Yiddish or Hebrew, I'm guessing they can speak that to you as well. I'm going to put my phone number. If there are questions that you want to ask after, then maybe questions that you feel like need a longer answer, I'm putting my phone number in the chat description. And not in the chat, in the chat box. You could reach out to me after the Zoom. That's my number there. Okay, looks like Rabbi Willem was not able to join us for tonight. The Chavrusa learning required, but so how many students? Okay, so that's okay. How many students typically are in this class? I think this year we had about 20. The first year we had a little bit, maybe a little more, a little bit less in that area. Yeah, hopefully we'll be closer to 30 this year, Mitzvah Shem. But yeah, in that range. As far as having a chavrusa is definitely a big plus. And one of the advantages of having a WhatsApp chat is that it's a good platform to find chavrusas. Obviously, if you're signing up to the course with a friend, matov. Oh, we have Rabbi Willem with us. Rav Willem.
Shalom Aleichem and welcome.
First of
all, shukayach for everyone for joining, and thank you. Shukayach Reb Levi for making this happen. It's a big zchus that Rabbi Webb is giving shurim by us already for 3 years. The specialty of this year is, first of all, to introduce myself, my name is Chaim Yisrael Wilhelm. Baruch Hashem, the Moised has began by my father, Olav Shalom, a couple of years ago, and it's just continuing to grow and flourish. The beauty of this specific class, let's discuss it for a moment, is that Rabbi Webb has a very unique, beautiful style of giving over and teaching to the Talmidim the knowledge, knowing of anything, Aleph, day-to-day halachas, davening, tefillin, zmanim. I was by a few of the shiurim. It was fascinating to see how well prepared, clear, and concise, speaking about the details from Alois or Tzeis or Chatzais, and speaking about Plaga Mincha, and it gives so much background into understanding it in the Shittas, as well as throughout the day, tzitzis and shah, everything, the day-to-day halachas. So I say I commend everybody. This is, there's halachas for Shabbos that comes once a week. There's halachas for Pesach that comes 7 days a year. But there's halachas of Orach Chaim that's here every day, Baruch Hashem. So Hatzlacha Rabba for all those that came, and Shekayach for joining even tonight's Zoom call, and Shekayach Levi for arranging this beautiful get together. And hope to please join the train, and you'll have a good time together. We'll Mitzvah Hashem see each other throughout the year. Hatzlacha Rabba. Thank you so much, Rabbi Levi. Kolta.
Thank you, Rabbi Willem. Okay, so I think that's a wrap. Again, I put my phone number in the chat. So if anyone would like to reach out after, feel free to call, and we can discuss registration. Slach Rab, everyone, and a good Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom to all. Kol Tov.